Welcome to Your Healthy Kitchen from Dignity Health Yavapai Regional Medical Center.
Welcome to Dignity Health YRMC's Your Healthy Kitchen. I'm your host, Rita Carey Rubin. You know, I am so excited to be back in the garden today with Molly Beverly, and we're going to talk about the preliminary results of Slow Food Press Kit's Grow Food in Your Backyard project. And Molly, in collaboration with Gwen of the Rocky Mountain Food Alliance and Jeff Shalau of the Yavapai County Cooperative Extension, developed this program to teach people how to grow their own food. And they do that by pairing new gardeners with mentors, and those mentors help them along every step of the way from planting to harvest. Welcome, Molly.
Thank you.
Good to see
Glad
you.
to be here, yeah.
So tell me, what inspired you to bring this Grow Food in Your Backyard project to our community?
Well, you can say it grew out of the pandemic because we'd all been so sequestered in the pandemic, and my slow food chapter, we have done nothing. Nothing was happening. And I saw a presentation with Gwen of how she put this together with 20 little gardens in Carbondale, Colorado, a small town, smaller than here. And a light bulb went off, and she had before and after pictures, and I went, wow, we can do that. And I had no real resources because my group had been really pared down during the pandemic. And the first thing I did was call Gwen and ask her if she would help me. And she had a structure set up. And the prime thing was to get the extension office involved and the master gardeners involved so that we would have this locally trained gardeners and to mentor one-on-one these new gardeners. And I also knew a lot of gardeners too who were very experienced, but we needed 20. So that's what got me started.
Well, tell me, so how does it all work? How does it come together?
So we needed people with enthusiasm, and we found more than enough. Then we needed materials, we needed seeds, we needed plants, we needed fertilizer, we needed soil. I didn't really know what all we needed, but I was learning what we needed. And with Gwen's help, put together a letter and an ask, and I just started asking people, and local businesses came in and said, hey, I've got a pile of lumber out here that's all seconds, come pick it up. But some people already even had garden beds in their yards, but other people needed everything built. And so we had people who volunteered labor who came in and built the garden beds.
Amazing. So like a garden, there's a lot of layers.
It was really a community effort, and through that, we actually made a lot of connections so that when we do this in the future, we're going to have even more connections.
Yeah, well, how many people participated in total this first go-around? So you had mentees and mentors. How many total?
Well, there were 20 mentors, and there were actually more like 25 mentees. Some of the mentors took on 2. And I had a little support group of people that were more experienced.
That's great. Well, we are going to go see a garden. We're going to meet a gardener, a mentee, and also meet her mentor.
Right.
And I'm so excited about that. And we'll also hear from Jeff and Gwen a little bit about their vision and how they contributed to this project. I'm really excited about that.
You're going to love this garden, and you're going to love this family, and see how the garden has perk them all up.
How fun. Well, let's go.
Okay.
Good morning. I'm Jeff Shalau, and I work for the University of Arizona Cooperative Extension. And in particular, I have a Master Gardener program, which he teaches science-based horticultural practices to volunteers. And then these volunteers become active in their communities, assisting in various ways. The main way that we've helped with the Garden Grow Food in Your Backyard program is through providing master gardeners with vegetable growing expertise and matching them with beginning gardeners. And these master gardeners and beginning gardeners work together to solve problems and learn how to prep soil and prevent pest damage and successfully grow food crops in their backyard. The reason this is so important is that people need better access to fresh and healthy food, and if they can grow it themselves, what better way than to grow your own food and then serve it on your own table that very same day and enjoy it and learn how to grow it even better in the following years.
So here we are. We're in a garden that's been part of the Grow Food in Your Backyard project, and I am here with the gardener, Melissa, and her mentor, Kathy. And thank you so much for inviting us out here, and thank you for being on the show. You're welcome. What's it been like to work with each other?
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun, yeah. Learning a little bit from each other, I think, too, in some respects.
Yeah, how so?
Well, because the thing of it is a lot of times I don't get the opportunity to have a one-on-one interaction with people. But with Melissa, I learned that it's very important to explain things a little bit more in detail. I have a neighbor that I was helping too, and when she got involved in seed starting, things that I would just brush over, and then I say, "Oh, why did you do that?" Well, I didn't know, and so I'm learning also because it's a whole different environment.
How about for you?
I mean, having Kathy has been so valuable to me because it was so much the setup. You know, I had the desire. I was at Lowe's and buying some bags of garden soil and a few plants here and there, and I really wanted it to work, but I didn't know how to make it work. And that's where Kathy came in, and she talked to me about getting the soil better and adding the compost and the manure and how to do that and how to set up the irrigation systems. And she even came out and showed me, like, okay, well, these plants are going to do better here. I was trying to explain my yard, and she's like, oh, this looks like a good place for it, and things like that. And I didn't have that knowledge, so it was really amazing to connect with someone who could kind of just guide me.
I think just seeing the progress that Melissa's garden's made and the fact that she's able to get so much produce out of it. But the other I found the most entertaining was her two daughters that have enjoyed it immensely. And because I think that's important. I think the kids need to learn where their food comes from, not just at the grocery store.
Sure, it makes such a difference, doesn't it?
It definitely does.
Yeah, how about you, Melissa? What's your...
I mean, it's being able to produce food for my family. I mean, just last night we had 2 side dishes that came straight from the garden. And so we went out and we picked it and we brought it in and washed it and cooked it. And that's just amazing to be able to show my girls, like, no, we didn't need to go to the grocery store for this. Here it is. It came from our garden.
Let's go look at the garden. Show us what you're growing.
Awesome.
This is your raised bed. Tell me what you have. What do you have growing?
I'd love to. So here we've alternated the tomatoes and basil all down the side. And we have some pumpkin growing across the back here. And then as we move forward, we have quite a few green beans. We're hoping to enjoy those soon.
Yeah, you've got some, and in the tomato basil, is that a companion planting kind of
Yeah,
strategy?
they are. They work really well together to help eliminate some of the bugs. That's one of the things I learned from Kathy, help eliminate some of the bug problem. And I mean, who doesn't like tomato and basil together? So
it is a match made in heaven, and your pumpkin is taking over.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Yep.
I'm really enjoying it though.
Yeah. So what else do you have?
So we've got banana pepper and jalapeno, and a few more tomatoes here in the middle, and we're ending with zucchini. And the girls and I are enjoying zucchini bread like all the time. So we can't get enough of it.
Yeah, once you plant zucchini, you'll have a lot of zucchini for bread. Yes, definitely. Well, you have a lot of other things growing out in your yard as well.
Yeah, we do actually. I have a rather large raspberry patch and a few more varieties of tomatoes over there. This is what used to be a fire pit. We've turned it into a garden bed. We've got some carrots in there and some basil, and we've got some onions and beets, and we're just really enjoying kind of whatever we can fit, wherever we can fit it.
I love how you've tucked everything into all these little spaces.
Yes, and then of course the flowers.
And the flowers, yeah. Beautiful sunflowers. So Melissa, I know you have a family. You have 2 little girls. Tell me about what they've thought about having a garden. How has that all worked into your family life?
Yeah, so I have 2 beautiful little girls. I have Sophia, who's 10, and Vivian, who's 7. and they love being out here in the garden. I mean, they spend more time in it sometimes than even I do. Vivian is amazing at finding all the little bugs, and she's not afraid of bugs at all. She'll just collect them up and, look, Mom, look what I found, and we'll have to look it up. And it's so amazing to me that they really have taken in all the information. I mean, my 10-year-old will tell you about how to pollinate the squash or the pumpkin, and she says, yeah, I've got this paintbrush, and I know the male flower from the female flower, and they're just learning so much.
Vivian and Sophia have just come out to join us, and they're going to show us their favorite parts of the garden. So starting with you, Vivian, what's your favorite thing to eat out here?
My favorite thing to eat out here is these tomatoes.
How come? What do you love about them?
They're so sweet
They are.
and tasty and juicy. And these tomatoes are more sweet than the ones bought at the grocery store. Also, most of them are just really freshly picked. My favorite plant out here is one I actually planted myself. So this is my peach tree. It wasn't store-bought. I was eating a delicious peach. And then I saved the core and stuck it in soil for an experiment or something. And then in the middle of spring or something, it came up. Believe it or not, this is a pretty new plant.
It's growing like crazy. So what a cool thing to learn. Well, thank you, girls. Thank you for showing us what you've planted and sharing what's so fun about this. Melissa, I wonder if you would comment, because I know you're a teacher. I am, and just curious how having a garden kind of plays into that part of your life.
Yeah, so I am a early Head Start teacher, so the littles, but a big part of our program is working with the families. So we work with the families, in the families, and to help them grow together. And so I have so much fun sharing my gardening experiences. You see a lot of plants in 5-gallon buckets because I can take those to school. And so I can bring them into the classroom and I can share those with the kids. And since I don't have a designated space on the playground, it's nice to be able to bring those in. And then I get to teach the families. And we're working on a family engagement night where I get to teach more about the garden. So I'm having so much fun learning as much as I can so that I can be a good resource for them, and then to develop that within the community. So it's been really, really amazing.
One good benefit that came out of COVID, right?
Yes. Right, for sure.
One positive.
Yeah.
For sure, this program started.
Exactly.
Well, thank you again. This has just been so much fun to be out here, and I'm just amazed at what you've done and how you've collaborated, and it's been really inspiring.
It's been a lot of fun.
It really has, and thank you to the Backyard Garden Project and to you guys to come out here and give us a chance to share.
Sure, absolutely.
Hi there, I'm Gwen Garcelon, and I created the garden mentoring model in Colorado, and I'm so grateful it inspired Molly to hire me to collaborate with her to replicate the project in Prescott. I've been a food systems strategist for over a decade because I'm also a sustainability consultant and have been deeply feeling the urgent need to create resiliency in our communities. Communities everywhere are being hit harder and harder by the increasing impacts of climate change. The latest report, just released by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, sounds the most dangerous alarm yet, that we are no longer able to avert what will be intensifying challenges everywhere in the world. I had this idea in the spring of 2020 when the pandemic was becoming really serious and we were seeing food shortages and a lot more food insecurity, and I knew this was the moment for this project. I knew backyard gardens needed to be a central piece of developing food systems. We need more food being grown locally because our traditional worldwide and national systems are breaking down. And we need to stop watering lawns immediately and start watering gardens. Even with how productive our regenerative and organic small farmers are, they can't do it all. Getting more people growing food and connecting and working together will be at the center of communities that are capable of facing the climate crisis that's calling for our action. Besides just the beauty and wonder of growing food, I can personally attest to the mental health benefits of gardening. The connection with other people at my community garden, the calm that I feel tending the garden, and the way it feeds my soul to be learning and in action, doing something positive and life-affirming. I'm convinced this can work anywhere. Please feel free to connect with me, Gwen at gwengarcelon.com. Whether you're a community gardener, a master gardener, or just a concerned citizen, I welcome the opportunity to collaborate with you. Let's grow more local food.
Oh, Molly, this has just been so much fun. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. But tell me, where does the project go from here?
Well, the project is still in process. And every year, gardens have to be completely renewed. So we learned so many lessons this time, and we've made so many good connections that are just starting. We've contacted people who are just starting to think about how they can be involved. So next year, we're going to do it again, and we're going to try to spread this further in our area, and Gwen is going to try to spread it, is going to work on spreading it further in the country, because it's a great project. People learn how to grow food.
Yeah, so it's got so much potential, it's just going to grow. And how do people get involved? How would they get connected?
People can contact me at the Slow Food email address, which you will see on your screen. We also have a Facebook page. That information is there, and also Gwen's information is also on the screen if you're out of this area.
Great. So lots of ways to get connected. And thank you again. This is just so much fun. And remember that you can check out all of our videos and delicious, easy recipes that you can use with your garden produce at yrmchealthconnect.org. And you can also follow me on Facebook, where you'll see what I make in my kitchen at home using my garden produce, plus all the donations I get from friends and neighbors. So until next time, plant something, and we'll see you soon.